What's going on, all you sex subscribers? Back at it again, and what we're talking about today is the song you can listen to when you need to absolutely dial in. Now, this song is called Momentum by Russ, featuring Benny the Butcher and Black Thought. Like, getting a Benny feature and a Black Thought feature on the same song is incredible. Shout out Russ for doing that. I listened to this song like 500 times. This is the past 2 years, this is the most listened to song on my Apple Music yearly replay. The whole concept of the song is all three of them talking about how when you are in momentum, you have to keep momentum going. I'll try to make it quick, but it's going to be a lot of bar breakdowns, so it'll be fun. I haven't done one of these videos in a while. All right, this first one is Russ right here. Freeing the jam by being free as I am, and speaking belief in the people sitting with reason to stand, who just might be needing a hand. I got you. So that first one is Russ pretty much just saying, he says, freeing the dam by being free as I am, and speaking belief in the people sitting with reason to stand. So he's pretty much saying, yo, dude, I got you. Let me dap you up. Let me lift you up, right? So it's good to have people to pull you up from where you're at. That's why you got to surround yourself with good people. This whole breakdown is kind of just positive affirmations to put in your head when you listen to music. I mean, you won't hear these guys talking about they're being heartbroken over some bitch like The Weeknd or Drake or somebody like that. I got heart, I'm the cause, my life is just the effect. I'm altering my reality, living in VFX. And the reason I'm not going down like the entire verse is because that would make this video way too long, and I wanted to specifically hone in on these key bars. He says, I got heart, I'm the cause, my life is just the effect. I'm altering my reality, living in VFX. This is huge. This is like one sentence, just 2 bars, but he's saying, I am at the cause of my emotions, not at the effect. Like he is causing life to happen. He's not at life's mercy. So you always want to be at the cause of your emotions instead of the effect. You never want to be on the reactive mode. You always want to be on the, hey, I'm channeling my emotions. Like I know what is going on right now in my body. I'm very self-aware. And then the next part is just like, I'm altering my reality, living in VFX. One, that's a bar because altered reality is VFX, because VFX is used, like virtual FX is used for when you can't film something in a video and you have to use VFX. And then this next part, this is the last piece from Russ that I really like. Keep on living in my light and let my faces lead the way. Cause if I'm taking y'all's advice, I'm probably making y'all's mistakes. Instead, I'm out in Egypt, just basking in the results of listening to myself and mapping out all my goals. My career is, of course, in self-confidence, and how ownership leads to opulence. Adjust your oculus if you're trying to rise to prominence. Bust down the door, assert dominance. When you call your first conference, I'm honest with my women, that's probably why they all hate me. They focused on being Lori, I'm focused on being Jay-Z. The run that I'm on is gonna be longer than the Euphrates. Got a supermodel chick that's better than Tom Brady. There's a lot to break down, but we're gonna do it. Keep on living in my light and let my fate just lead the way. He's saying, yo, dude, like I'm gonna create and carve my own path and have faith in myself to keep moving forward. If I'm taking your advice, I'm probably going to make your mistakes. So I'm going to just carve out my own path. I'm going to enjoy the fruits and the spoils of my labor. When he said, I'm just basking in the results of listening to myself and mapping out all my goals. And this is where journaling comes in. Yeah, you didn't think I'd bring that into this piece, did you? So you got to map out your goals. You got to write out what you want, and you have to really set your sights on a goal, and you're using pen to paper to get there. My career is, of course, in self-confidence, how ownership leads to opulence, because he owns his masters. He pretty much makes all of his own beats and music and everything. Adjust your Oculus. This was so hard. I think this came out in like 2020, and so this was like a nod to right when the Oculus, I think it was a couple of years after that, but like the Oculus, like the VR headset came in. So he's like, yo, you have to adjust your view of the world to one where you are really locked in. This part's just really funny. I'm honest with my women. That's probably why they all hate me. They focused on being Lori and focused on being Jay-Z. That's just, I mean, bro, Jay's a legend, right? But he's pretty much just talking about how he's honest now. He pretty much talks about I guess he doesn't settle down. I honestly don't know his personal life. This is also 5 years ago. Maybe things have changed. But and then this last part right here. The run that I'm on is going to be longer than the Euphrates. Got a supermodel chick that's better than Tom Brady's. Also 2020. So this is back when Giselle and Tom Brady were together. But he's saying the run that I'm on is going to be longer than one of the longest rivers in the world. And not only one of the longest rivers, it's where life started, because life started between the Tigris and the Euphrates, like in that Mesopotamia. Got a supermodel chick that's better than Tom Brady's. That's just a hard flex, you know. Let's move on to the Benny the Butcher part right here, and it's this first. This is him, I guess, manifesting or talking to himself type of thing, right? Conversation alone in the mirror. I told myself before the year up, I'd be a homeowner and another millionaire. This one, he's pretty much just talking to himself and manifesting the fact, he's like, yo, dude, at the end of this year, I'm gonna own a home and I'm gonna have another $1 million. Like, conversations alone in the mirror. Like, you guys have no idea how powerful talking to yourself in the mirror is. Like, it's giving yourself these affirmations and confirmations and speaking things to existence in front of the mirror is so powerful. I would highly recommend you do that. Look, I know how them numbers looking. I don't gotta check stats. The pussy good, but I still never text back. Being unsigned, they never changed my potential. With every wave of a pencil, a nigga gaining momentum. All right. So this one, he's like, yo, I know how the numbers look. I don't need to check my streaming stats. I don't need to check my bank account. And he used to sell, I mean, he used to sell Coke, right? He used to be a trapper. So he's like, I don't need to know how my Coke sales look because they're all on point. Like, I don't even need to check. I got everything locked in. You should definitely you should definitely budget and check your stats and all that stuff. And he doesn't need to check his investments and all that stuff. But you should probably check yours, but it's just, this kind of just a flex. And then he goes, the pussy good, but I'll still never text back. And that just goes to show the difference between songs like this and then heartbreak songs, which I guess there's a time and place for. I mean, I love 808s and Heartbreak by Kanye, but like the affirmations you're putting in your head when you listen to stuff like this is like the abundance mindset, right? And he's not necessarily saying, yo, dude, I'm not going to text this girl back ever. He's pretty much just saying, I'm not going to let a girl play me just because the sex was good. And you shouldn't do that either. Like, sure, you had some really good sex with a girl, you had some really good physical intimacy, but don't let that control your entire life. Don't let that alter your view of a chick, because there's more to her than just that, right? You got to make sure she has a good personality, good values, interest. You have shared interests, shared values, all that good stuff. And in this next part, he said, "Being unsigned never changed my potential. With every wave of a pencil, a brother gaining momentum." And so he's saying, look, I never limited myself. I never had limiting beliefs for when I wasn't signed. And he is signed now. He's signed to Rockefeller Records, I think. So um, I never changed my thought process. I always knew I had this potential. And just because you haven't made it yet, you still got the potential, right? Like, you never know where you're going to get to until you're going to get there. But if you think that you have the potential to do it, you're going to be greater than you think. And then with every wave of a pencil, anytime I write a verse, I'm gaining momentum, and that's what this whole song is about. Just stacking wins on top of each other, stacking songs. Like, I don't know who drops more consistently than Benny, even today. Like, if you go back and look at his singles on Apple Music, you'll see a drop like every few weeks. Yes, quality over quantity, but I mean, dude, a Benny verse is a Benny verse, and Benny, like every Benny verse, I haven't heard a whack Benny verse before. Had patience and help. I remember thinking, make it big, then decorate the crib with paintings on myself, cause that's who I owe. You gotta give yourself credit, they definitely won't. You won't hear this flow so often, so treasure these quotes. As far as cheddar, we know enough plugs will bricks that I'll probably never be broke. I'm used to not getting sleep, this a 24-hour business. Exercising my brain like 24-hour fitness. All right. That is so hard. I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, pause, rewind that shit, play it back. I had patience and it helped. I remember thinking, make it big, then decorate the crib with paintings of myself, because that's who I owe. You got to give yourself credit. They definitely won't. Dude, yeah, that's very self-explanatory. He pretty much talking about how you got to treasure these quotes. He's like, treasure my bars. I'm giving you game. I'm speaking game. I'm used to not getting sleep. That's a 24-hour business. Exercising my brain like 24-hour fitness. Dude, that's so good. And I guess this is back when 24-hour fitness actually was 24 hour, but that's besides the point. So he's saying, look, I'm used to staying up all night chasing my dreams, chasing my goals, right? And he's talking about like from the hustling days when he was, selling, and he's talking about from the current days when he's writing, working on business stuff, deals, etc. Right? Like, there's so many pieces to this that you can apply.
When I first started recording, I swore it was more important to make it the soul train and a gold chain and some Jordans than making my own lane and then blazing a trail forward. I came from the old days where the vision was too distorted.
All right, so this is good. This is him saying, when I first started rapping, I just wanted to chase material wealth. And that's it. I just wanted to chase material things, gold chains, Jordans, making it soul train, the status. He wanted status and money, and that's what he thought it was over. Instead of, making his own path and then blazing the trail forward, is what he said, or make my own lane. And then it's because he came from the old days where the vision was too distorted, where all that really mattered to them back then were those things. All right, and then this next one right here.
My wife, kids, and in-laws deserve rewards, Picasso's and Warhols, the strength of my memoirs, the wealth of knowledge from experiences I've endured. Create the bars full of information like SIM cards. I left courtrooms as a defendant, fully acquitted in spite of the blood. Suckers who tried to sully my image and fighting with motherfuckers who tried to tell me I'm finished, as if I'd ever considered the sky above as a limit.
He's talking about all these famous paintings, Renoirs, Picasso's, Warhols, and then he's like, the knowledge of experiences I've endured create the bars full of information like SIM cards. Also, that's so hard writing endured with SIM cards, but like in that rhyme scheme, that's dope. Okay, so yeah, SIM cards host a lot of information. You just put them in your phone. I don't know if I'm saying used to. eSIM just became a thing recently, but yeah, so he's like, look, I have all this information, and then this piece right here, I left courtrooms as a defendant fully acquitted in spite of the bloodsuckers who try to sully my image, fighting with motherfuckers who try to tell me I'm finished, as if I'd ever considered the sky above as a limit. Don't let someone else tell you what you should and shouldn't do. As if I'd ever considered the sky above as a limit. I have no limitations. Here's the next piece.
Terrifying, fearless, I guess I am here cause ain't nobody near me on a pyramid and I'm adhering to the game theory. I maintain momentum and I made a name clearly, but I can't stop. I believe it's no rest for the weary. From the cards I was dealt to awards on my shelf, I turned scars to a sense of regard for myself. Based on where I set the bar, I made it hard for myself. I lent a hand before my brothers called for my help.
If I'm peerless, I guess I'm here because there ain't nobody near me. He's saying, dude, look, if I don't have any peers, it's because nobody's near me. I'm so ahead of the game. I'm so far ahead that nobody's near me, right? I maintain momentum and I made a name clearly, but I can't stop. I believe there's no rest for the weary. This is literally going back to what Benny the Butcher said about exercising my brain like it's 24-hour. Sorry, I'm used to not getting sleep. That's a 24-hour business. Exercising my brain like it's 24-hour fitness. And then Russ saying, keep on living in my light and let my faith just lead the way. Because if I'm taking y'all's advice, I'm just making y'all's advice. You're pretty much just saying, like, I got to keep going. Like I got to keep this pendulum swinging. Like, I can't do something great and then stop. Can't do something that I've been continuing to do and then stop. Wow, this is crazy and the fact that I chose momentum, the fact that I chose to make this video today is actually very poetic. It's because I told myself I would create 7 videos in 7 days, and then I was going to chill out. But I woke up today and I was like, man, I just want to make another video. Like, I just want to make more long form content today. And I decided to choose the song Momentum. And he literally says here, I maintain momentum and I made a name clearly, but I can't stop. I believe it's no rest for the weary. And this is what music does. This is a real life application of what positive affirmation music does. I've listened to this song 500 times. So it's clearly in my head. And I said I was going to stop after 7 days and just, make whatever weekly, monthly vlogs. But I couldn't because I've heard this lyric so much, but I can't stop. I believe it's no rest for the weary. That's crazy. From the cards I was dealt to awards on my shelf, I turned scars to a sense of regard for myself. Definitely done that. I mean, I don't like making my health issues my personality or my diet my personality, but those things have shaped me very heavily. Damn, this is a really personal video. I'm not going to cut this down too much. This is going to be a 20-minute drop. I don't care. This is more so for myself than for anybody else. So, wow, this just goes to show you how deeply rooted what we listen to and the music that is in our heads really impacts our life. Like I'm just like dumbfounded by the epiphany I'm having right now. Also, shout out Dumbfounded because this is his freaking this is like their brand, bro. Like the whole Knox Eddy crew. Anyways, I'm really dumbfounded by the fact that I chose to do this song on day 8 of a 7-day challenge. Like I can't stop thinking about it. That was where it was. Based on where I set the bar, I made it hard for myself. I lent the hand before my brothers called for my help. Oh my god, dude, this is my fucking life. Dude, this is like one of my most listened to songs like in the past 3 years. And I live all of this shit. Like I live like bar for bar. This shit is my life, dude. That's crazy. I'm leaving all of the shit in. I'm not editing shit. I was gonna talk about 3 things. I'm just gonna touch on them real quick. But first, I'm gonna play the hook real quick as well. I didn't come this far. I only come this far. Gotta keep momentum swinging. Keep momentum swinging. I didn't come this far to only come this far. Got to keep momentum swinging. That's huge. Like yo, I didn't just do all this just to do all this. Like I'm gonna keep going. Right. It's a very self-explanatory hook, but wow, I just had like a very like spiritual moment in this video, like live, and I'm so happy that you guys got to see that. All right, and then the 3 pieces I was going to talk about the application to your life. It's always everything boils down to this, right? This is the foundation of everything: health, wealth, and relationships, right? Health is the most important thing because that's at the end of the day. It's the end of the day. At the end of the day, that's all you have is your health, right? Health is wealth. You know, the Dalai Lama quote that goes, you know, man spends all of his health trying to acquire wealth and then spends all of his wealth trying to get back his health. So you got to make sure you stay on point. Make sure you make that your foundation, non-negotiable. Whatever your non-negotiable health things are, you have to stick with those, right? For me, it's I only eat food that I cook, and that's like my overarching umbrella thing, and I stick to that. I don't eat out. Very rarely I'll have Korean barbecue, and like even that I'm cooking it myself, right? And the next piece is wealth. So momentum in wealth is like compound interest, compound investing, like just continuously investing into a certain thing, right? And that could be investing in yourself as well to like read books, take courses, go to seminars, events, all that good stuff. And then the last piece is relationships. We talked the other day about social momentum, and that's a real thing. Like when you're out and about and you're having these wins back to back to back, you're going to excel later on in the night, or like if you go out multiple days in a row, you will feel more comfortable than if you won't feel stifled in your head compared to if you only went out like once that week. This last piece was really quick, so there wasn't really much I want to talk about. I really wanted to break down those bars more than anything. One of my favorite things to do is break down music for people and talk about how it applies to your life. And man, the amount of affirmations that are positive and the amount of just straight like fire lyricism in this song is so good. That's why it's been one of my most listened to songs the past few years. So next time you need a song to help you lock in, help you dial into something, or just kind of break the mold from the usual stuff you listen to, I would highly recommend Momentum by Russ featuring Benny the Butcher and Black Thought. That's it for me on this one. Again, this is going to be a super long video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Stay till the end. Comment, keep momentum swinging, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.